What's up guys, welcome back to another Souls-like Sunday. Today we are checking out the newly released Hellpoint. This is an action RPG. It is Dark Souls in space. It might be the most Souls-like I have ever seen, and that's not a bad thing. I actually think this game's rather good. So we're going to jump in, I'm going to start a new character, and I'm just going to talk about this game. We'll go with Derek. Let's go Derek. Yeah, this came out a few days ago. And the response so far has been rather mixed. I've seen quite a few negative reviews floating around. However, I actually think this game is pretty dope, and I will attempt to explain why. If you like Dark Souls, you should definitely check this out. Basically, you play as what is known as a spawn. I couldn't really tell you what's going on because much like Dark Souls, it doesn't spell things out to you. I'm sure I will understand the more I play. I should mention that I've only played about 4 hours of this in my own time. I am by no means an expert. I may very well get things wrong. But I still want to talk about what's going on here. This should be very, very familiar to anyone that's ever played Dark Souls. Like I was saying, it is so similar. It's insane. But I don't think that's a bad thing. I think, you know, this is unapologetically a Dark Souls clone with a sci-fi skin, and that's a good thing, honestly. This is what is known as a AA game, so it doesn't have the budget of, say, a From Software title or any AAA game, so I would say come into this with leveled expectations, right? It's not going to have the polish of Dark Souls, but I think what they've done here is rather incredible. I'm having an absolute blast with this game. And it's been a while since a game that's trying to kind of do Dark Souls has actually nailed it. So, I'm pretty stoked, all things considered. Right, we have our R1s. We have our R2s. We have backstep attacks, running attacks, and interestingly enough, we have a jump and a jumping slam attack. We don't currently have our weapon. One way in which this differs from Dark Souls is that there is no create a class. You pretty much start the game as what is known as a spawn, and it's a blank slate. We're level 1, we have 1 in every stat, and let's talk about the stats here. This is pretty much exactly what you'd expect from Dark Souls. You have health, and you have stamina. Energy is essentially mana. I've not really used anything that consumes mana, so I can't speak too much on that. Load is equip load, strength is strength, reflex is essentially dexterity, cognition is, I guess you'd say it's similar to Blood Tinge in Bloodborne. That applies to various firearms that you can acquire throughout the game. Foresight is, I guess, intelligence, and there's even tenacity, which is essentially poise. So everything here should be very, very familiar to you. But yeah, there is no creator class. Essentially, you start as a blank slate and you go from there. We have to equip our healing item. And I believe there are a number of healing items which have different properties. I've only found one so far though. Right, we need to heal to progress. Let's go. So we have awoken on what appears to be some kind of colony on a spaceship, and something terrible has happened, and it remains to be seen what's actually happened. Right, so instead of messages on the floor, you have handprints on walls. This is very much the message system from Dark Souls, and in fact this game has even implemented the online system from Dark Souls, so you can leave messages for other players to read, and you can summon players into your game via the handprints, and there is even PvP. I don't think there's invasions, but there is a PvP component. Haven't spent any time with that. This is really cool, man. Get those Lovecraftian vibes. The atmosphere in this game is very thick, very awesome. Definitely leans more towards horror than Dark Souls. I guess it's more like Bloodborne in that regard. Right, let's get our damn weapon, shall we? This is a breach, which, as you might have guessed, is a bonfire, essentially. Connect. Right, we can't currently level up as we have nothing, but infusing is leveling up, and we need Axions to do so. Axions are your currency, your XP. They're basically souls. Right, we have our first weapon. Now I can better explain the combat system. I think this is the most accurate representation of Dark Souls combat I've ever seen in a Souls-like game. So we have an R1 chain, 2-hit chain. We have an R2 chain. We have a backstep R1, which I believe is the same as a rolling R1. And we have a running R1, and like I mentioned earlier, we have a jumping slam attack. And it all feels really good. The combat, I think, is the strongest point. It all works really well. I think the combat in this game is absolutely dope. I love it. It feels very fluid, and it plays like Dark Souls to a T. And I think that's the greatest strength of this game. I'm really enjoying it. Anyway, let us go. So we don't have any armor at the moment. Like I said, you start as some kind of blank slate, but we will acquire armor sets throughout the game, and some of them look pretty cool. Nice. Alright, there's our shield. So another thing to mention is there is no two-handing in this game. You can opt not to use a shield, and I believe that will open up another attack for your weapon on L1, or a kick, for example, but you can't actually two-hand like you can in the Souls games. And also there is no parrying system as far as I'm aware, which is a little bit disappointing, but not really a big deal. Early game R1 spamming will do the job, I've noticed. These enemies are not much to worry about. In fact, I think this game's quite forgiving. I haven't been struggling much at all. But it does feel very, very familiar. I feel right at home here. It really does play just like Dark Souls. Oh, poised through it, bro. Oh, surprise. Oh yeah, I should also mention that when you're actually locked on, you will dash a la Bloodborne, but when you're not locked on, you will roll. So bear that in mind. As you might expect from a game that has jumping in it, I'd say the level design is more vertical than anything you'd find in a Souls game, and it's really interesting, it's really cool. I've been having an absolute blast so far. Exploration is highly encouraged. I've found all sorts of goodies just by going off the beaten path. It's got that interconnected, interwoven level design that you would find in Dark Souls 1. You know, areas wrap around and you unlock shortcuts back to bonfires. It really is rather good. At first I wasn't sure about the level design because there are a lot of areas that feel a little bit barren because there's just a lot of what I would say is wasted space. But as I've played more, that doesn't seem to be much of a problem. But if you compare, for example, the Undead Burg in Dark Souls 1, I would say everything in that area is designed with a purpose. I don't necessarily get the same vibe here. I feel like there's a lot of wasted space and, you know, certain areas can feel a little bit barren. I don't necessarily think it's bad, though. I think the level design on the whole is pretty good. It's only gotten better as I've progressed further into the game. The movesets are fun. It really does feel like Dark Souls 1. It didn't take long for me to adapt, really. R2. R2. There isn't a backstab, but I do believe enemies take more damage from behind. So bear that in mind. Otherwise, yeah, this is Dark Souls in space, and you will hear that a lot, because that's exactly what this is. That is exactly what this is. And that's not a bad thing. I think that's what they were going for, and I think they've nailed it for the most part. This is the most fun I've had with a Souls-like game in a very, very long time. I've played a lot of good Souls-likes. I liked Lords of the Fallen. I liked The Surge. And yeah, The Surge is kind of sci-fi Dark Souls. I'd say The Surge is vastly different, whereas this is very familiar, but in a good way. In a very good way. R1 spamming will get you through the first part of the game. But as we go, we will find some new weapons. We will be able to level up. I was initially a bit worried because I found the combat a little bit one-dimensional, but as I've progressed through the game, it does open up a lot. You start to find a lot more enemy types. There's a good variety of enemies, and you have to handle each fight differently. You got to be patient, you know, methodical. The combat is slow and deliberate. You got to pick your openings, manage your stamina. It should all be very familiar to anyone that's played Dark Souls. And this is very good. Get back here. Let's talk about heals. So you get 2 of them. I press down on the D-pad and I inject myself. What's interesting about this healing system is that as you kill more enemies, it will charge up. And when it's full, I will get another healing charge. And I believe you can upgrade heals as you go, although I haven't managed to do so yet. So you have your 2 basic heals, but as you kill more enemies, you will accumulate more over time. So you can see my my bar, it's not a bar, what would you call that? The circle is filling. This game does have voice acting, but it's reserved mostly for like big story beats from what I've noticed. So NPCs, at least the ones I've found, they don't have any voice acting, and I feel that's a little bit disappointing. It definitely would have helped the presentation a little. Not to say the presentation is bad, it's rather good. The game's gorgeous, it runs really well. I've had a few issues in certain areas with frame drops that should not be dropping frames at all. But otherwise, it's silky smooth, looks great. I love the atmosphere and the aesthetic. I'm actually really loving this, like more than I thought I would, because I've paid attention to a bunch of reviews and at first I was like, oh, it really sounds like they've missed the mark here. And people have criticized the level design, and it is a little bit barren. It's not on the scale of Dark Souls 1 at all. But I think it's really good. Really good. And it has, you know, online co-op. It has PvP, and get this, it also has split screen co-op, which is actually what swayed me, because I was unsure, because this game's like £28, which sounded a little pricey to me for what I considered to be like an indie studio Dark Souls clone. Especially when all the mixed reviews came in, I was like, do I do it? And then I had read that it has a split screen co-op, and I was like, you just don't see that in games like this. You don't see that in, you know, 3D action RPGs at all. And although I don't often play online, I do play with some of my friends in person. I'm a sucker for couch co-op, so that was enough for me to just bite the bullet and buy it there and then, because being able to play Dark Souls in space, split screen, sounds absolutely amazing, honestly. Axions. I think I've already said this with actual currency, but interestingly enough, you can pick up consumable Axions, and you will obviously accumulate them from killing enemies as you play through the game. Everything's like Dark Souls. We got another weapon here. You need 12 strength to use this, so I can't use it, but yeah, our stats are currently 1 across the board. So like I was saying, there's no creator class. You will just start as a blank slate, and that's pretty cool. From my understanding and from what I've played, there seems to be a good amount of weapons to play around with. They all have unique movesets, and the build diversity appears to be thoroughly developed and fleshed out. Right, we've unlocked a shortcut. I really like this game, and I think if you really like Dark Souls, you're looking for something similar, this is one of the most similar games I have found. It's got a bit of its own flavor to it, you know, the sci-fi setting. You can jump, so the level design is a bit more vertical. There's some platforming elements. Is this going to hurt me? Yes, only a little though. But otherwise, I think this is a damn good game. I'm having such a good time with it. I've made a dex build, or a reflex build as it's called. You can upgrade your weapons, you can insert... What are they called? Let's look at some of this stuff. It's overwhelming, man. Oh, we got some armor dropped from one of the enemies. So, much like Dark Souls, that should be the name of this video, much like Dark Souls. You can farm enemies for their weapons and their armor. Seem to be quite rare, but you know, if you want to do that, you can do that, and that's awesome. What is this? Body module. I believe you can get... I guess they're like rings in Dark Souls. I found one that increased my health, which is lovely. Not sure about mind modules. Omni cubes. I haven't quite figured out what they really do at the moment, other than potentially give you passive benefits, maybe. And yeah, we don't have any armor at the moment other than the leggings, but that's fine. There's a lot here, but it's pretty much Dark Souls, so if you're a fan of Dark Souls, it should be a relatively smooth transition. I don't know why I'm interacting with that. What does this say? Find the Architect. Right, these guys, they don't fuck about, honestly. So, see you later, buddy. He's gonna stab me in the arse, isn't he? Oh, I can't. Oh, no. These guys can two-shot you. I would rather not, you know. See ya. But yeah, if you can see what I mean about the level design, a lot of areas are rather large, but there isn't a lot to them, but I've kind of grown on that as I've played through more. Please stop following me. At first I was like, wow, a lot of these environments are a bit barren, but it's definitely going for more of a horror vibe than Dark Souls. And the level design gets a bit more interesting as you go. I would say these areas aren't like too populated because they're just introducing you to the game for the most part. That's my understanding of it anyway. Refined carbon. Loads of materials to grab, to break down, and then you can upgrade weapons. You can print weapons with like a 3D printer-esque thing as long as you find blueprints to do so. That's pretty cool. Lots of options. No, dude. Get out of here. There's also a unique mechanic on death where sometimes a ghost will spawn. A ghost is essentially like a revenant of yourself, and it uses your exact build, LT plus LB. I've never managed to get the shield bash to work. I think it's bugged or it just doesn't work very well. So, yeah, this game does have some issues. It has some bugs. A lot of people have been complaining about bugs. I haven't really experienced anything game-breaking or anything too annoying. I've had the physics bug out on me a few times. Right, shortcut back to the not bonfire, the breach. Alright, now we're going to explore a bit more. There is a weapon to grab here. There is a very tasty dagger that's just remarkably good. Absolutely shreds the first boss. So I'll want to be picking that up. Something I haven't mentioned, right? Look, if you look at the top left, you can see the glowing circle is actually moving. Basically, this colony is orbiting around a black hole, and based on the alignment of the ship with the black hole, there's something called like the black hole hour or something. It's when the two circles align. Basically, secrets and strange things happen, new enemies spawn in. There's a lot to be discovered there. I haven't really seen much of what that actually changes, but that's a really interesting concept. So you want to pay attention of that, and I think, you know, things can be harder or easier depending on the alignment, which is cool. I am missing a room. I want my dagger, bro. This guy is just lingering. I'm not even going to bother trying to fight him. I can't reliably fight them. They just two-shot me. They're ridiculous. Their design is badass, though. No. Where was it then? Where's this dagger? Oh, it's got to be through here. Right, okay. Let's try a stompy attack. Nice. Victim headgear. Nice. This looks awesome. Very, very cool. Oh yeah, I love the vibe. I love the atmosphere. I love the aesthetic. It plays like a dream. It literally feels like Dark Souls. As I was saying, I think it's the best representation of Dark Souls combat that I've seen. And I think it leans more towards Dark Souls 1 than 3. But the speed of the combat's probably somewhere in the middle. It feels good though, and if you've played either of those games, you will feel right at home here. It's Dark Souls with a sci-fi skin. Here we go. This weapon is dope, but we need 3 reflex, so we are going to go back to the breach. Level up our dexterity, and then we're going to go fight the first boss of this game. But yeah, I mean, I am no expert of this game, clearly. I'm talking based on, you know, the 4 hours I've spent with it, and I've gone in blind for the most part. I did watch a few reviews, so I might have gotten some stuff wrong. I might be omitting certain things altogether. But it's really done a good job of kind of... I'm invested. I am so... Oh, hello. I am so invested in this game already. And very few games grab me like Dark Souls does, but this has really grabbed me. I can't put it down. I'm curious. I'm already thinking about, you know, builds. And, you know, every time I get a new bit of gear, I'm like, oh wow, that looks cool. I'd love to try that out. It's good shit. Consume Axions. So we can consume all of our consumable Axions here. And then we're going to go 3 reflex. No, 3 health, 5 stamina. Stamina is very important in this game. And any game that's trying to do Dark Souls. So let's equip our ceremonial dagger. The dagger moveset is dope. Very, very good. Very Dark Souls. I love it. Right, let's go shred this boss dude. Hold on, let me see if I can show something. If you can see there, it says conductor effect. Equip a conductor to increase potential. So you'll accumulate conductors as you explore and loot stuff. And I had one, for example, that reduced stamina costs. And one that gave me an attack bonus. So there's a lot of customization options here, as you might expect from a game that is very much trying to be Dark Souls, but not in a bad way. Dark Souls is great. I would, you know, I love games like Dark Souls. More games should be like Dark Souls. Most of them either miss the mark or they have a very different flavor to them. This is very, very similar, but I think it's better off for being so similar. I just feel right at home here. It didn't take long to adapt, and I'm already invested in the world. The story and the lore is, as you'd expect, really. You'll find bits of text lying around. Run away. It's not very explicit about what's going on. You have to piece together the mystery, and it's obviously got the whole black hole element. So there's even... No! He didn't come alive when I first played this. Right, first boss. Yeah, lots of mystery to unravel here. This shouldn't be too bad. Pretty straightforward. I believe she can slow you down on hit, though. Good God. Yeah, I'm turning into, like, stone or some shit. Ah. Right, heal. If I can stab her in the arse, it's going to do bonus damage. It did not. I will say, I think this game's a lot easier than the Souls games. I've really not struggled much so far. That's not to say it's not fun. It is tremendously fun. What are you doing? Oh, dude. Movesets aren't as complex as something like Dark Souls 3, but it's still a lot of fun. And it is challenging. There are certain enemies that you're going to have to learn their movesets, figure out the best way to deal with them. And once you figure them out, it's immensely satisfying. Come on, come on. Ugh. Bah. What? Stop spamming that. Stay still. This fight's a little bit annoying because she impairs your movement. But it's not too challenging. I guess it adds to the challenge. This would be rather easy otherwise. Oh, I need to not be spammy. That is easily punishable. Keep doing that. Thank you. In the back. Stay still. It's kind of hard to see what she's doing. Yeah, this dagger shreds, dude. It's good shit. Vanquished. Nice. Right, we're all stony and weird. Whatever, dude. That was Hellpoint, guys. Let me know what you think. I'm honestly having an absolute blast with this game, and I think if you like Dark Souls, you should check this out. Without a doubt, it might be a tad pricey. £28. I was really on the fence until I realized it had split screen, and I was like, wow, insta-buy. I cannot get enough of couch co-op, but otherwise, I was skeptical. I saw all the mixed reviews. I wasn't sure, but I've been absolutely loving it. It's really, really good, and I'm considering doing a full playthrough on the channel. Let me know if that's something you would want to see. Otherwise, I just want to say, as always, thank you for watching. For the record, Dark Souls 3 will resume tomorrow. I know it's been a while. I will explain in that video. Anyway, you know what to do, guys. Bang your heads. Oh yeah, this game has gestures, just like Dark Souls. Literally, it's Dark Souls in space, guys. Sci-fi souls. It's badass, though. No, no, no. Yeah, you know what to do, bang your heads, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye, guys.